Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. If this is your first time to the channel, I ask that you hit that subscribe button. And then I ask that you hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a video goes live, or every time we go live, or every time a video is posted to SouFLoTV. You don't want to miss out the thing. Alright, on top of that, I would like for you to also go over to my other channel on YouTube, which is brains&thebeat, and over there hit the subscribe button as well. All right. Now, a lot of people are saying, SouFlo, give us an update to this Mr. Right thing, the embattled Westmoreland MP who was seen on video beating a woman. One time he was beating her with a stool, actually, on video. The woman catch some lickissy, right? And given the climate of violence against women in Jamaica and all that, you would think that someone who is in a position of power as an MP, a sitting member of parliament, his party at least would have been more forthcoming and more forward in dealing with a disciplinary side of the situation. Hasn't quite gone that way. Matter of fact, to make it clear to us that there are different levels to the law as how it applies to different individuals, if you don't know what I mean, we even had a woman, which is the first lady. I'm talking about the Prime Minister's wife. The Prime Minister's wife came out and said all violence matters. Now, if you remember correctly, nobody said all lives matters until black people started to saying Black Lives Matter. Once black people started saying Black Lives Matter, it was like a spin-off where they started saying, well, if Black Lives Matter, then Blue Lives Matter. You must understand the dynamics of that conversation and the deepness in that conversation. For those of you who don't know, let me explain it to you a little bit real quick. So, police officers were killing black people. Okay. Black people started saying, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Well, the people who support the police and don't support the black community, they started saying, well, Blue Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, just comply. That's how Blue Lives Matter came about. And then you had a spin-off of Blue Lives Matter to White Lives Matter. And then from that you have All Lives Matter. So it was a way to dumb down and trivialize the whole Black Lives Matter movement talk. So for the First Lady, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness' wife, to come out and say all violence matter, instead of her just head up discussing rights situation, how a sitting member of parliament in their party, in their cabinet, was seen on video beating his now believed to be or known to be his common law wife. How come all this happened? Like, how did he get away with it? How come you guys are not doing anything about it? Is this the example you want to set? Is this the man that represents a constituency of people but beats a woman on camera and gets away with it? So what is he saying, or what message is he sending to the people who he represents? Anyhow, people are asking for an update. You're going to laugh because the update gets even better. This is Jamaica for you. So Speaker of the House of Representatives Marissa Dalrymple Philibert confirmed yesterday that she had granted a request from the embattled Westmoreland Central Member of Parliament, who is MP George Wright, to go on 2 months worth of leave. 2 months worth of leave, you know. Now, before you go ahead thinking, yeah, them suspend him for 2 months. No, this was not a suspension. Let's get into the details. The period of leave runs from April 20th to June 21st. Right here in 2021. And the reason given by Wright for seeking a leave of absence were due to unforeseen circumstances. And the fact that there are certain matters which I am required to attend to as a matter of urgency. That is what it says. Now the speaker said that her reading of urgency is that it is something of utmost importance. In other words, then, adding that this is a reason which was given by several MPs whenever them want take them leave or take vacation. They just put that on paper. Them have to go deal with some urgent matters. She said that Wright has been very open and clear in terms of his need for the leave, and it was not unusual for members to ask for leave for reasons beyond their control, which are unavoidable. Yes, ma'am, we understand all that, but it is unusual to see an MP beating a woman with a stool over her head on camera. But anyhow, it's not unusual, so he's within his rights to ask for leave, right? Because he is still employed. He was not fired because of what was seen on the video. He was not put on any disciplinary action and all that. So he was still in his job, so he's within his rights. She also noted that the speaker is not required. Listen now. The speaker is not required to reveal the reason for approving the leave, particularly that there is nothing in the standing orders requiring her to explain why she granted him the leave. Nowhere in May's or in the other standing orders am I required to do what I have just done, but I have done so because I have nothing to hide, she said. So she is saying that the little information she gave us, why he said he wanted the leave, she didn't have to do that. Because there's nothing in standing orders that says that she have to explain why she grant the leave to him. Now, she says she have nothing to hide. Now, this is a matter that is in the public space, and I want to make it abundantly clear that as the Speaker of this Parliament, none of us here condone violence. Really, Miss Lady? But we cannot, as a parliament, be led by jungle law. As so the woman saying, we cannot, as a parliament, be led by jungle law. That's all I am saying, she argued. So in other words, what she is saying is, they cannot, as a parliament, based on people's opinion, the wider population outside of the suit and tie and members of parliament room, privileged people, they cannot listen to our, oh God, him forget lock up, no man, him forget fire, that not right. They cannot listen to that and use that to judge him. They have to go by a different set of rules. Now, whether this different set of rules is the rules and laws that are on the books that govern the entire country and is supposed to govern every citizen of the country, or is our rules and laws in our book that does not apply to us as regular people, but it applies to them, we don't know. But them just can't go by jungle justice, is what she is saying. Now, asked whether Wright would receive pay while he was on leave, she said that she expects that Wright would be treated as would all other MPs that are going on leave of absence, who continue to receive their salary for the period of the leave. She also noted that the subsistence for members could not be denied in circumstances in which the member does not inform the speaker within good time. So, if you're asking, is he taking 2 months of leave with pay? The answer is yes. I suspect that, like all other members, while absent from the House, he is probably still being compensated, and might I remind that we have had members that have been compensated just like that. So him not doing nothing special, he's not getting any special treatment. He asked for his 2 months leave. He's taking his 2 months leave to go handle some emergency situations, and he will be getting his paycheck on a regular basis, no money short, for the entire time that he is away for 2 months. What a privilege. What a privilege. Just beat up a girl and then take 2 months off with pay. What a privilege. Boy, I don't know if I tell you, people. She said that I must re-emphasize that we cannot operate by jungle law. We must abide by the rules, is what she said. So for those of us who are saying, no, him not deserve no 2 months without him with pay, and they can't go by what our emotions are telling us to say. They cannot go by our rationalization after watching the video. They have to go by the rules that are on their books, is basically what she's saying. She was supported by the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, and the Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Mr. Parnell Charles Jr., who said that in a democracy, every citizen is subject to the law of the land and at the same time, cannot seek to deny due process to any of its citizens. Me don't know what that means. I guess it means that they're going through due process with Mr. Wright. And he went to say that some of the questions raised by Hilton were inflammatory and they did not do justice to the Speaker's significant effort to balance the discussion on the subject. In other words, then, this is one long bag of talking that is going to go nowhere. He said that the request for an explanation of the leave of absence was not improper, as there were strong feelings about it being granted. You didn't have to make an explanation, but you chose to do so. Quite rightly, in my opinion. However, I do not accept what the MPs have said. But you have acted absolutely properly in responding to the request for information. This is what Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding, while applauding the way that the Speaker has handled the matter, pointed out that the matter has been highly politicized. From where I stand, the whole question about this leave of absence thing is still one over which there is a cloud. But I accept that. In your discretion, you have applied the standing orders, I believe, in a manner that you think is right. And I just want to commend you again. The public wanted to know, and you were right to do it. And that is where it all ends. Now, Wright, who is the MP of Westmoreland Central, he was elected among 49 MPs on the Jamaica Labour Party ticket to the House of Representatives. However, he has been facing some strong criticism and calls for his resignation, even from the Jamaican community overseas. People who are not Jamaican but are connected in some way. You know, you have a lot of people that have been going to Jamaica for years. They feel connected to the country. Then you have a lot of people who are more connected to women's rights and stopping violence against women, and they're not necessarily Jamaican. We live in a world where videos go viral. So there are people outside of Jamaica who are now calling for his resignation, whether they are Jamaicans living overseas or they are just other entities outside. I've explained before. It's just like Buju Banton come and him sing boom bye bye in a batty boy head, and everybody was dancing to it until one Jamaican decided to translate what that meant, and then all hell broke loose. Buju became the one that was under their radar, their scope. I mean, granted, Buju did this as a teenager, the song, and he didn't know the ramifications of where it would be and how the world would change according to these type of things. You know what I'm saying? But it happened. So it's kind of much the same thing. So when Buju now in his 30s and then his 40s, 20s, whatever, when he later on in his career tried to do concerts overseas, there were large groups of people that were gathered outside these concerts holding big placards that said, you are hiring or an entertainer who is advocating violence against the gay community and you need to stop. They pressured a lot of promoters who wanted to book the artist to not book the artist for their venue because the promoter them didn't want the extra problems. And in doing that, a lot of shows were cancelled, which means a lot of money was taken off the table, so them box no food out of Buju mouth. Well, it could be the same thing here for Mr. Wright. They can start waving these cards and start saying, no sitting member of parliament, no politician should be able to beat a woman on camera and get away with it. Now, despite refusal of the peer to give further statement to the police, who have since aborted pursuing the matter, a number of national organizations, civil society groups, and politicians have been urging Wright to tender his resignation. Listen up, I'm going to read some comment from some people so y'all understand the kind of people that we're dealing with. Because I'll tell you this, in Jamaica, Beating a woman is not seen as a big deal. I don't care if you want to say, no, SouFlo, you're out of pocket for saying that, you're out of place. I'm going to say it again. In Jamaica, beating a woman is not considered a big deal. If you grab her and you give her a couple of bucks, it's not a big deal. You hear me? Okay, that's facts. So who want to take it. Who want to get offended, but it's the truth. Beating a woman in Jamaica is not a big deal. Let me give you an example. Watch this. So, Holy Perv in the comment section says this is far longer than the usual 9 days, because usually when story blow, it take 9 days, and then after 9 days, nobody don't want to hear about it again. They move on to something else that's happening, that's more happening. Mark Chu says, we should all commend Mr. Wright for showing courage and stepping away from government responsibility to allow these allegations to come to their natural end. This bold move by Mr. Wright will now silence the propagandists and deflate the overzealous who choose feelings over facts. Now, Mr. Chu is very misguided, misinformed, because it's not feelings over facts. The fact is that he beat the woman on camera. So it's not feelings over facts. And by people calling for his resignation or saying that a person in that position of leadership should not be allowed to maintain that position, that's not propaganda. That is people calling for justice. Wait for my final say on this though, because I have my own opinion. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Remember, I know, me never fail yet. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, because Jamaica is my place and me know how it run. Alright? Jam first says, I'm not even wanting to read this. Mark Chu says, many called for him to step away, and he did just that. Still, some are not happy. Public outrage based on feelings should not be sufficient to have someone fired. Mark Chu is obviously either a robot or someone that's paid by Mr. Wright, because he is saying that we are calling for him to step away, and he stepped away. Hello, 2 months of paid vacation while your drama gets swept under the rug some more and covered up properly so you can come back and act like nothing happened is not you stepping away in the way the people wanted you to step away that are calling for you to step away. Honestly, what I say, people, they're calling for him to step down. They're calling for him to resign, not for him to take 2 months vacation with pay and then come back like nothing happened. But people are out here that actually supports him. People are actually saying, listen, if the woman don't care about the beating, enough figure make a complaint. And she now run up and follow up the thing. And she was the one that took the licks. Why are we, the public, so pressed about it? Yes, it happened on camera. Yes, it was frightening when we saw it. But at the end of the day, it's their affair. A little bit of it spill out on camera into the public eye. Leave the people them things alone. Let them live. Let them go about their life and hope he makes some change. Lindell McCormick said, the leave of absence should not have been granted unless it was without pay. Now, while I support the call for him to resign, there is nothing in my estimation that prevented him from taking care of his domestic issues while he was still on the job. I don't know of any other profession someone is given 2 months off with full salary so as to take care of domestic matters, unless it's serious sickness or death. Mr. Wright, based on his pastor's account, has got numerous counseling sessions, and they don't appear to work. So what does he intend to do with his 2 months off the job? Just go chill out? Aye, sir. Here this a person, you know. He's only taking a leave from parliament attendance, not from his role as the MP within his constituency. Either way, government employees are allowed their paid leaves while they are attending to personal, with it medical or psychological issues, whatever the case may be. I just hope that he will find a way to keep these and other issues alive for the next election. because there are and there has to be jurors in this case. And if not the courts, then it must be the electorate. A website to log these clear transgressions is now imperative than ever. Marjorie Crawford Dunn says, some are just above the law, and that's it right there. How can they expect the people to trust the government when they're dealing with politician behaviors are not treated in the same like manner? This is very troubling. And what happens after? Does he want to crawl back in? Does he think that with time this will blow over? Not a chance, is what some people are saying. Well, yes, a chance. Let me tell you what's going to happen. In ending this video, I will say this. Nothing will happen. The JCF, which is Jamaica Constabulary Force, has already made it clear to the public that both parties have refused to file formal complaints against each other. That means the woman will take the lick them. She says nothing. The man will supposedly give her the lick them, which is Mr. Right. He is saying nothing. Two parties involved are saying nothing. Then this is where it ends. And based on that, the JCF has decided to push the investigation no further. So there is no active investigation going on this anyways. Now, on top of no active investigation going on this, Mr. Wright has also now been granted 2 months of leave with pay. So he will be out of the public eye, enjoying himself somewhere in Belize on the beach and chilling, kicking up with an umbrella in his drink. I joke me, I make him probably the right to saw Jamaica. I don't know where he's going, but I know he'll be out of the public eye for 2 months with paid leave. And this is where it will end. Nothing will come of this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It done. It dead. Right? That's all. I would advise people if just left the man alone, because him woman not calling for it. So why should we? This is a perfect case of a lot of the times when women are abused, some people don't stand up for them, because sometimes you stand up for the woman and the next thing you know, you turn around and you see that same woman there with the same man that you were crucifying on her behalf. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it is within the power of this woman. If she decides to come forward and says, yes, that was me on the tape, I was getting beaten, and it was him, Mr. Right, that was beating me, then they can pursue something. Once she said nothing, then it ends right there. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Does he deserve 2 months leave with pay? I mean, unfortunately, that's how the thing goes. He is within his rights to have his time with his pay. Do you think he should be fired? Do you think he should at least resign? Do you think he should step down or be demoted, put into another position, not the elevated position of MP, a sitting member of parliament that he has now? Do you believe that the state should pick up this because it was caught on video and pursue the matter further? Or do you believe that it should drop right where it's at and allow people to continue on with their life? Talk up in the comment section below. I'll catch you on the next video. SouFLoTV. Hit that subscribe button. Help us get to our goal for 2021, which is 300K. We're moving along. Walk good, my people. I'm out. Peace.